You're watching a Nighthawk Network presentation.
Live and direct from Detroit, Michigan, the city and state of my birth. This is the Guru Sports Session. I am your co-host, producer E-Buck. And of course, we cannot do the Guru Sports Session without my man. You look a little tired, bruh. You all right over there, Hugh?
Yeah, I'm good. Just got finished doing workout.
Okay, then. Well, hopefully you saved enough energy for us to talk about these several topics that we got going this week. Without further ado, good people, we ain't gonna hold you up. We about to get straight into it. What up, Hugh?
What's going on, man? First and foremost, man, before we even really get started, man, I like to say, rest in peace, man, to Lou Holtz, man. We just lost him today, man. You already know that we know him from being one of the Notre Dame, national champions in 1988. And I believe he flourished at being one of those guys who can help rebuild a program. So, yeah, man, he was pretty cool to see all the time when you watch college football game day, too. You constantly seen him, and he was definitely a regular on the show. But yeah, man, that was just crazy to hear. I was just relaxing. I just got finished doing the workout actually, and just so happened to look up at my phone and seeing that news. And I was like, yeah, man, he kind of looked like he wasn't really doing as well, man. But he was still here. So, you didn't expect to hear nothing like that from Lou Holt passing today. But he lived to see 89. So, that was a blessing in his own right.
Well, keep in mind, I was never really no big Notre Dame fan, but of course, because the great Jerome Bettis, who grew up in my neighborhood, went to Notre Dame, I followed Notre Dame. And also, he was coaching around the time I was in college, so I do kind of equate college football and Lou Holtz is part of that of me growing up as a sports fan. You seeing Ghost over there? He was going on.
Oh, no, man.
But
No.
yeah, definitely a loss for the sporting community because not only do you remember him from being the coach of Notre Dame and other smaller schools in the process, but also you remember his time on TV talking the game as well. So definitely that one hit a little bit when you think about some of the people you lose from your childhood and your early adulthood. That one was kind of deep. So yeah, definitely condolences to the family and friends of the great Lou Holtz.
Yeah, man. Definitely wanted to start the show off by giving him his flowers of what he's meant to the college basketball world. I mean, football world. I mean, you probably lost
Absolutely.
that. But yeah, it's been a lot of crazy stuff going on, man. It's been pretty busy this week too, man. And I would just like to say too, I definitely won't be doing no show on Tuesday because I know how if it's this busy right now, man, and it ain't even next Monday yet, man. So I'm kind of figuring I will not be available until we do the show on Wednesday.
Okay,
So
well, explain to the people what you're talking about. I know, but let them know what's up.
it's March the 9th through 11th is going to be the legal tampering period in the NFL where you can get the guys to be in, and I had to say legal, but you can get
Hmm.
the guys to, basically persuade them to go to your team. So it's not really official until the 12th because we've seen some crazy things happen before where a guy would get signed to a team and then they'll have a change of heart and they'll ended up going back to their original team. So yeah, man, I mean, it ain't really official until March the 12th, but then you get that little, 2-day gap, man, for the legal tampering period. So the free agent frenzy is going to be pretty exciting as usual. I don't think it never
Yep.
gets.
I think what it really boiled down to is you ain't really allowed to talk to the player themselves, but
Mhm.
you and the agent, y'all can go back and forth on the low low all day.
Absolutely.
That's pretty much what's going on right now.
Yeah, man. So I know I'm gonna definitely be busy on that note, man. But before we even really get too big into the football and everything, man, we got to talk about what happened in baseball, man, with Jurgensen Profar, man, of the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, I said Atlanta
Mm.
Hawks, the Atlanta Braves. That guy, man. Like you said, E man, about this time, man, you getting suspended 162 games, man. It's like anymore. I wouldn't even care if it's not something like, drug policy, or anything of that nature. If it's anything else, I don't care what it is. He has to go, man. I feel like any other thing or any antics from Jurgensen Profar, man, he got to go. That's it for me.
Long story short, people, the PED policy states that you get caught that first time, they give you the hot 40. Okay, that's a quarter of the season, you lose all your money. All right, second time around, that's half the season, and you lose all that money. This is his third time around. That's why he get this third one. Me myself, I say they need to change that. If you get caught taking PEDs a third time,
You
let me
out.
put it to you this way: if you are a felon, okay, and you go to jail and you do your time and you come out, all right, there's that. Then you go back in a second time. They usually give you longer. You know how the rule go. You go back that third time, that's
But you
25
out.
to life. At this point, this is 25 to life moment. He gotta go. I don't want to see him no more. I know if I got a team, I don't want him on that team. I can't trust that brother.
I've always thought he was a good utility player, but he's not worth me really, going through all this with him right now. I
He,
wouldn't.
he was never the prospect that he initially was touted to be, and I assume that's part of why, because he cheated to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of guys that we like, man, who we thought that was just doing well and found out they was doing drugs, man. And Melky Cabrera, one of them, man, it broke my heart.
Yeah, and again, you see what happened to Milky.
Yeah, pretty much. And my
Mhm.
man Robinson Cano, amongst other people.
Yeah, the list goes on.
Let's get into some of the stuff that happened in the NFL, man. There's a lot of stuff that happened, some crazy things that happened. One of them, if you ain't aware of today, yes, my man Stephon Diggs is about to be released. I've been hearing that rumor for the last 2 weeks. What are your thoughts, man? Because I feel like I'll tell you how I feel, but I just want to know your thoughts about this whole situation with him right now.
Stephon Diggs is a good NFL player. He just got a messy life. And those two things don't add up in today's NFL. It used to be a time in the NFL, they ain't too much give a damn what you did outside of the NFL as long as you didn't end up in jail. But
Hmm.
nowadays, because of the profile of the league, and they want to keep a very nice, pristine profile, anybody that is causing issues that come into question, yeah, that's the issue. So Stephon Diggs, being the player he is, he'll probably get one more shot somewhere else. But I truthfully would like for him to sit it out for this year, solve his issues, spend some quality time being dad to all his multiple children. Cardi, by the way, don't take that brother back. Don't even do it. But yeah, it's a mess. And the Patriots, no, they don't like messy.
They tolerated him the whole season for one. And he got caught on the boat doing
Like
what
I
he
said,
did on
he
the boat.
played well. It
Yeah,
was it was the other mess.
you cheated in on Cardi with that boat incident. Then the whole debacle what happened with the Super Bowl, man, when she ended up leaving that
And then of
half.
course the multiple kids at the same time. And then
He
of course whatever his
he
latest
was get
incident
sued
was
for
with him and
replay too.
his former chef,
Yeah.
and it's
So
too much.
it's just too much of a distraction. And I think that they did good because I had a huge Patriots fan that I'm familiar with. My homeboy G was like, "Yeah, man, that's kind of messed up that they did." I said, "Nah, man." I said, "You got to understand that brother got many chances this whole year to get himself together, and he just continued to start to fall, man. And they backed him the whole year, man, until they couldn't back him anymore. The Patriots don't
You
really
gotta
care."
remember how NFL deal with the
Mhm.
shield come first, bro. Anything against the shield, you gotta go.
And the funny part is, man, they already was looking at, getting rid of him 2 weeks ago. That's all the rumors I was hearing is him leaving the Patriots and them trying to go after AJ Brown and Alec Pierce and other, pretty good wide
Mike
receivers.
Evans, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
And so they got their picks, and with him and his troubles, they don't really need that, man. Did you hear the other news too, E?
Did not. What we got?
What happened with the Los Angeles Chargers, man. They let go of 3 players, man. Of course, Will Digsley. They got rid of Mekhi Becton, the guard, and the tackle, Sevion West Washington. So yeah, they got rid of 3 people, but then they've been trying to open up cap space as well because there was one of them teams that was a little over the cap. But I kind of figured Becton wasn't going to stay, and Will Disley, I just thought that they really didn't need him on the roster. But just everybody's right now, I think they're trying to get under that cap right now. And even most of the people who trying to make moves in free agency, they trying to see if they can maneuver and get guys to restructure these contracts. So there's gonna be a lot of people being released within the next few days. And then you already know about the Kirk Cousins. I know you heard about what's going on with our boy Kyler Murray. So yeah, man, guys is just trying to make, clear up some roster space.
Real quick. And Harbaugh, we trust. I trust that he will make the right decisions to set himself up because right now the Chargers are in Cena mode. In other words, their time is now. What the Chiefs is out here hurting, and the other teams still need to get their game together. It's the Chargers time to take over that division, so they need to do what they need to do to make that happen. As far as your boy Kirk Cousins go, I have no doubt he will be on somebody's roster next year,
Absolutely.
making a decent amount of money because he has the best agent in the business, in my mind, based on all the deals he done got him thus far. And wouldn't it be crazy if by some crazy way he end up on another team with yet another fully guaranteed contract?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Would not. As far as Kyler Murray, the jury is out on that dude. I mean, does he have talent? Yes. Is he 5'9.5"? Also, yes. Does he have the best work ethic, despite what he said in social media? No, he does not. So you have to consider all those things. And I would definitely say if you are the Jets, don't do it. You probably should, but you shouldn't.
Yeah, I try to focus on getting someone who I feel like who would be more consistent at this point in time in his career.
I much rather them get Kirk Cousins at this point.
Yeah, I think
I
that.
mean, in the end, I don't think it too much matter who the Jets get. I say we about a year away from my man's losing his job and probably interviewing back for the Lions.
Did you see what happened with today? The trade that happened today, with the Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams. Trent McDuffie going over there, and the full trade details was the Rams received Trent McDuffie, the cornerback, but the Chiefs received the first round pick, number 29, fifth, sixth, and the 2027 third round draft pick. What are your thoughts on that?
They got over on the Rams. That's my thoughts on that. That being said, it's something weird about them and cornerbacks. They don't seem to want to really keep them like that. It wasn't too long ago they traded another cornerback last year, as I recall. That was pretty decent.
Octavius Ward, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically something that they don't seem to value as much in Kansas City for whatever reason. But they definitely got a nice haul back for him. As far as the Rams go, they're just trying to bolster up because in an ideal world, they could see themselves beating Seattle next year, and I can see it too.
I forgot too that they also had that's not the first one. It was 2 cornerbacks went to different teams. Man, I forgot what the other gentleman. Well, no, he went to the Titans.
Yeah,
but they just
yeah, like I said, they just don't seem to value cornerback that much in Kansas City.
I don't even think it's that. I just think that right now, financially too, man, it's not really much they're doing it. So you can see if they're giving up assets like that, man, they trying to rebuild. Because it's just about to the point where when you talk about windows, yeah, they got a window right now, and it's looking like they're about to be in rebuild mode pretty soon.
I can't feel bad for a team that won 3 championships in the last 6 years.
And why should you? You've been hearing about Trey Hendrickson and the news about him going or he wants to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think about that fit?
I don't give a damn where he go. The real story here is the Natty. They cheeks, bro. They straight up cheeks. They are horrible, horrible organization. How do you build up all that with the offense and don't do crap for defense? It
Yeah.
makes no sense to me. I don't know who's the worst organization right now. Them, the Browns, or the Raiders. They are right up there. And I think I could throw the Jets in that mix too. They just making bad personnel decisions all the way around, it seems like.
For the people who's not familiar too,
I don't
man,
blame Joe Burrow for not having fun no more in Cincinnati.
hey, I'm just looking at it like, Mr. Brown is who he is, man. He's stubborn and he gonna stay that way. If you think that's gonna change, it's not. So you basically get what you get with them. That's what I look at when it comes to the Cincinnati Bengals. I want to talk about the guys who's been officially tagged and the guys who wasn't tagged. I want to know your thoughts about that. For the people who officially got tagged was the Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens, the Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts, Jets running back Brees Hall, and the Colts quarterback Daniel Jones.
Now I'm gonna have you do that over, and I'm gonna give you my quick opinion. Go.
Okay. All right, Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens.
I would not sign that dude to no long year deal. I mean, his behavioral issue still a issue.
I'm glad you're starting to see that, E man. I was getting irritated with him when you was like, well, yeah, you didn't really.
I mean, he's still a number one receiver.
He's a great player. He's a great player, but that attitude, and then you seen to this year, man, when he didn't have his way, what he'd do? He'd go through the motions. He's probably worse this year when he had the talent and a team who relied on him rather than when he was in Pittsburgh.
But once upon a time, there was another wide receiver that behaved that way. His name was Randy Moss. He turned out pretty good in the end, didn't he?
Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts.
That's the ideal move for them. I mean, you got to keep Kyle Pitts, plain and simple. The key to them doing anything next year is that offense. Their defense is decent, but that offense will be what will win them the South if possible.
Yeah, because he's underutilized, man. That's the only thing
but you got to keep that dude. You'll regret letting him go.
Definitely underutilized. Jets running back Brees Hall.
It don't too much matter who the Jets franchise at this point. They trash, man. They straight boo-boo.
And Colts Daniel Jones.
Now that's the intriguing move right there. Now
transition tag. Don't forget, it's not.
Yeah, here's the thing. We still got to see how he come back from that injury. Because remember, we're talking Achilles. That's always a very tricky injury, no matter what sport it is to come back from. You can ask people like obviously here we go. KD, for example, who it took him a minute, but you see KD is playing fine now.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got people like Trey Thompson. Not Trey Thompson. Yeah.
I don't
Klay Thompson. There we go.
Klay Thompson.
Because he came back, but he ain't never been quite the same. On the other hand, you look at people in the NFL.
Achilles injury. Remember when he had got that Achilles injury? He was already wasn't the same before the Achilles injury, and he just had to go. That was the last straw.
Right. Then of course you got the NFL. You look at people like the quarterback, the bad man himself,
Aaron Rodgers.
And you see that, okay, is it because he's older or is it because that Achilles don't allow him to scramble the way he used to? It's a 50-50 with him. And then, of course, you look at Mike Trout, who had Achilles issues.
Yeah.
But now it's saying that he's going to play center field again this year. So maybe he's over it. It's a 50-50 crapshoot on that one. And in the end, look at the other quarterback options for the Colts. You got that dude Leonard from Notre Dame. No, thank you. And you got Richardson, who maybe upside might be Cam Newton. Downside, Jamarcus Russell. Don't know what we got with that dude.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know what's going to go on with him, but I don't think he'll be on that roster by next season. Honestly, your boy Anthony Richardson. Okay, I want to talk about the guys who, shockingly, one of them on here too, man, who was basically without the franchise tag. Starting off with him, Seattle Seahawks running back and MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker.
Bottom line, see what's out there. If it's a team that's going to pay you, get paid. In this day and age of running back, you got about an 8-year window to get your money. After that, you become 30, and they say you're old, and you basically get what you can get at that point. So he's still in his prime. Get money. Seattle, they done won a championship. They got a decent running back without him. When you think about Charbonnet, but in the end, I ain't mad at them for letting him see what he can get out there.
Colts wide receiver Alex Pierce.
Don't care.
Okay. Chargers defensive end Adolfo Orwell.
Not a person that is a name for most of us. Obviously, Hugh being a sports guru, football his jam, he knows that dude. But no, he is actually a decent defensive player. But again, I think the Chargers are doing their due diligence right now. So I imagine if he gets a decent offer, they'll go and let him ride. But if he just get basic offer A, they'll match it and bring him back.
Yeah, people sleeping on him. He's a hell of a defensive end. A lot of people been slipping on it. I was like, man, that's a pretty good name under the
I say
radar.
he's a decent dude, yeah.
Jaguars running back, your homeboy, Travis Etienne.
This is a mistake. This is a mistake.
I want him to leave and go somewhere he appreciated.
Imagine putting him in the backfield with our guy. Ooh, y'all don't want to see that. Y'all thought Sonic and Knuckles was bad. Oh, baby.
Travis really been stepping his game up
But
the
no,
last 2-3 years,
a
too.
couple teams I would like to see Travis Etienne go to if he don't stay with the Jags. I would love to see him in San Diego / Los Angeles.
Good one. That'd be a
Because,
good
you know,
one.
they like a good running back, and they don't really have one that's been healthy like that. So
Not really.
put him on that Charger squad with that new offense set up. Yeah. Another place I like to see him go, Chiefs.
Yeah, you definitely fit in over there, too, because, you know, they need a running back.
Particularly one that could catch out the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
That puts him right set up perfectly with Mahomes.
Raven Center, Tyler Lindenbaugh.
Underrated, y'all.
Very.
Underrated. Keep in mind, Lions may need a center this season. I can see that. But also, there's a few teams that definitely need to bolster their offensive line. So there will definitely be a market for him. Yeah, if the Ravens let it ride, they don't intend on getting him back. It's cool.
And I think he only like 25, 26 years old, too, so he going to
Absolutely.
really be out there.
Young dude.
And then your boy, we talked about him a little bit, Bengals defensive end, Trey Hendrickson.
I already told you about that.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like with him, wherever he go, it'll be a good scenery change, especially not being with the Cincinnati Bengals at this point.
Ultimately, you probably got 3 good years left out of him.
Yeah.
He's 30, so keep that in mind when you think about
one
paying
now.
that
Yep,
dude.
so he definitely on the
When
wrong
you think
side.
about paying that dude, keep that in mind.
Former Detroit Lions player, we already kind of talked about him a little bit. David Montgomery being traded to the Houston Texans for 4th, 7th, and then they got guard Juice Scruggs. Man, what's your thought on that deal?
I'm not happy with how some of y'all is viewing this. Like, he was definitely wanting to get up out of here. From other reports of people in the know, that don't seem to be the case. He actually seemed to be looking forward to working with the new offensive coordinator, and they had actually spent some time together learning some plays and figuring out some stuff just a week or two prior to this. So suddenly there's these reports that, yeah, he didn't want to be here and he asked to get out and whatnot. I don't think it was that. I think it boiled down to, if you want me, I would like to be here. If you don't, then don't hold me up. If you're going to underutilize me, don't hold me up. Send me somewhere where they're going to play me. And I think that's what it is. In the end, I'm not mad at that, brother. Thank you for your service to my team. We enjoy having you here. I know some of y'all going to have to get another jersey and whatnot, but it's all good. Enjoy your time with the Texans. And Texans, thank you for them extra picks. We appreciate it.
Because just the Juice Scruggs, man, they was talking about he'd be a good anchor piece on the line, but at the same time,
He played a few games last year. He decent.
What I looked at though was, like you said, man, I seen the demeanor in Brad Holmes, man. Brad Holmes had his head down and he never looked in the direct people face like the reporters and said, man, we want David Montgomery here in the discussion. He never really said that. He always kind of beat around that subject. And I felt like one of the reasons why is because he didn't have the best of years last year, but I don't even think it was that. I think that they trying to free up cap space. That $6 million they had with him and that they freed up. I think they was looking for a trade to try to get more draft capital as well.
I don't think you're a Brad Holmes fan at this point, Hugh.
It never was after last year. I told you how bad that draft was.
And there it is.
That draft definitely changed my opinion about him.
There it is. So bottom line, what do we need to do in order for him to keep his job next year?
And all the people who were thinking I was being real crazy or just like being an a-hole about the way I looked at that draft, who laughing now? The niggas ain't even make no playoffs.
In the end, if we don't make the playoffs next year, do Brad Holmes need to go?
I believe so.
If we do make the playoffs and make it to the second round, does Brad Holmes need to go?
That'd be debatable.
Okay. Obviously, if we win the Super Bowl, at that point, do we re-sign Brad Holmes to a long-term deal?
No, I'll go with a 2-year deal.
Interesting. All right, carry on.
Detroit Lions announced today release offensive lineman Graham Glasnow. Detroit freed up another $5.5 million on that for their cap space, but he was like 32 or something, 33, so
and was considering retiring and still might anyway. So it's not that big a deal, y'all. Life goes on.
How do you feel about the Chiefs appointing Jawan Taylor, man, the false start king, that he will be released?
The most penalized offensive lineman in the NFL last season?
Yes, sir.
That speaks for itself. Is he big as hell? Yeah. Is he good at left tackle? No. Whoever gonna pick him up, my suggestion, you put him in the middle. Keep him away from that left and right tackle. He ain't for that. His feet don't move well enough.
Yeah, I want to talk about some other things too, man. What's been going on too, as far as in general, what time of year it is right now, man. We got the March Madness that'll be coming up.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get to the real. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait for that, man. I want to start off.
Actually, for those interested, some of the tournaments and some of the lesser conferences, they start tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'm interested in them right now. We're going to talk about the predicted number one seeds in the women's division. Of course, UConn being 31-0 undefeated. They're going to be the number one overall seed. UCLA, South Carolina, and Texas.
Okay, needless to say, they're the 4 best teams in the country right now. In my mind, it ain't even a doubt about it. You may arguably want to say Vanderbilt or LSU. I can't say that. Because they didn't have the losses that they didn't have to some of these same teams we're talking about. So that being said, yeah, UConn will be the number one overall seed in the East. Texas, they'll be down in the South. You got UCLA in the West. And what's the other team?
South Carolina.
They get the leftovers. So remember, the key difference between the men's tournament and the women's tournament, in the women's tournament, the top number one seeds, they get to play at their home court for the first 2 rounds. And more times than not, when that's the case, they automatically damn near go to the Sweet 16. So it's definitely a bigger deal on the women's side than the men's side.
Yeah, man. I definitely feel like when they said that Texas was one that was predicted to be like that final number one spot, I said I'm not surprised because the way Madison Booker been playing. And not only that, but they had some big wins this year too.
Absolutely. When you think about the wins against LSU, OKC, with Oklahoma, and they played South Carolina pretty hard as well. But also, got to give some credit to UCLA.
Absolutely.
First team in over 10 seasons to win the Big Ten outright with no losses. No losses in the Big Ten. And consider who's in that Big Ten this year, Hugh. Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive.
Because like you said, man, they went undefeated, man. And this was like the first time since 2014, 2015. So, yeah, man, and that Big Ten is a hard conference, man. So
absolutely.
I definitely give credit where credit is due on that end because I just felt like things has been really looking up for that team, man. And They only has one loss, if I'm not
Only one
mistaken.
loss. That is
So
correct.
yeah, I definitely don't feel like that's
Right.
something
So
to be.
the key is out of the Oklahomas, the LSU's, the Vanderbilts, the Michigans of the world. What teams out of those teams end up being number 2 teams,
Yeah,
and where do they stick them in these in these brackets? Because in the end, that's going to be the team that team plays in the second round more than not.
because when is the bracket announcement? Is it on the 15th?
That should be not this Sunday, but the following Sunday.
Yeah, the 15th. Okay. Man, we got to mention this lady, man. I love her, you love her, man. But at the same time, we seen a little downfall this year. It was a little conflict with her and one of the ladies. We'll say, that lady ended up going off to TCU. If you already know who I'm talking about, Olivia Biles, she's doing good over there. But there's been little
Absolutely.
struggles with Notre Dame, man. But at the same time, got to give flowers to Hannah Hidalgo, man, the first player in ACC history to be a player of the year and a defensive player of the year in consecutive seasons, man.
That's
How do you
right.
feel about
Twice, baby.
how do you feel about that? I
That's
think that's
extremely
impressive.
impressive in any conference because not only are you averaging the third most points in the country right now at 25-7, but you also leading the country in steals per game at 5 and some change. 5 steals a game is nuts.
Yeah,
But then when you consider she's had 3 games this year where she stole double-digit steals, which is even crazier.
never heard of. That's video game stats.
Absolutely. But if you see her play, you understand.
Then
She quick as hell.
I call her the Tasmanian Devil. I love her, man.
No doubt.
They didn't have as good luck as I would like them to in there with their team, but without her, man, that team wouldn't even be talked about amongst
I
anyone.
mean, keep in mind, without her, they might not even be a tournament team.
I agree.
With
Absolutely.
her, they probably should at least be a 3 seed.
I wouldn't be surprised if they can at least try to get to
And
like
that being said, unless you UConn and them other schools, you probably don't want her in your bracket. That
no.
could get real interesting.
I definitely want to see.
I think to UConn or UCLA that she offers no challenge to either one of those teams.
Hey, Cinderella teams. Do you think it's going to be any this year, man? To consider
On the women's side, absolutely not. The closest we'll get to that, maybe it'll be an LSU, like I said, or a Vanderbilt. But no, bottom line is those 4 teams you name as number 1 seeds, I'm about 96.8% sure one of them 4 teams will be your national champion.
Okay.
And
We
if
gonna
you put a gun to my head, you know who I'm going with.
absolutely, but by far.
UConn.
We're gonna get into the men's brackets now. The predicted teams to be the number ones is, of course, Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and another another UConn team, man.
Now remember, last team to have both their men's and women's team win the national championship, again, UConn. That being said, I don't know if UConn should be a number 1 seed.
No. I would
I've
be
seen them
surprised.
lose to some teams that's probably not really on their level.
Last year too, remember we seen them lose to teams like, man, what the
I mean,
heck
keep
is
in
going on
mind,
with the team?
unlike the women's side in the Big East, which is pretty much a cakewalk, the Big East on the men's side is a pretty good conference.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at your Creightons, your St. John's, your
Because Creighton and St. John gonna be
right,
in the
your
tournament.
Villanovas, you got some pretty good teams on that men's side. So my thinking is, should Duke be a 1 seed? Absolutely. They didn't beat all the teams that they needed to beat to prove that, include Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan also should be number 1. They done won the Big Ten outright. I don't even think it's necessary for them to even win the tournament on the Big East, on the Big Ten conference for them to be a number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Arizona. They didn't beat all the teams they needed to beat, the Kansases and whatnot of the world. So I say them 3 teams, number 1 seeds, no matter what they do in their conference tournaments. UConn is the exception. If they go to their tournament and lose in that first round or 2, they will not be a number 1 seed. It'll probably be like a Houston or somewhere along them lines. If they win their conference tournament, then I'm cool with it. If they don't win, then I say either the Big 12 conference champion of the tournament or the Big 10 conference champion of the tournament. If it's not Michigan, they should be that 4th number 1 seed.
Okay, so I was just about to ask who you think should be the number one seed if it won UConn. Do you believe like a Purdue, or would you be
If
okay with
Purdue won the tournament, absolutely,
Purdue?
I'm all right with that.
Okay, because I feel like if anything,
Or
either
even if
them
it's an
or
upset like a Michigan State or Illinois, if they win the tournament,
I was
I
just
wouldn't
about to
be
say
mad at
that.
that either.
Because Keaton Wagler is a beast, man, over there with Illinois, man. Well,
And Michigan
unexpected.
State got a nice squad also.
Yeah. All right, man. I want to get into some of the NBA action too, man, and some of the things that's been going on in the NBA. Unless you had anything else you wanted to add.
Well, what we should add is some commercials. So yeah, let's take this commercial break, people. And when we come back, we'll do the second half of the show, talk some NBA and some in-betweens after the back. This is the Guru Sports Session. E-Buck and my man, the Guru Hugh Lee, will be back after these words for the Nighthawk Network. Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my T-Sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing darlings with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
Hey, this is your boy E-Buck. And if you're looking for some great desserts, something sweet, something to treat yourself with, please check out my girl Caramel Sweets here in the Metro Detroit area. She can make desserts for your function, your event, or just for that special someone you want to give something nice to. So check her out. It's Caramel Sweets. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram. We appreciate you.
Game on, watch me rise from the dirt to the clouds to the star-filled skies. Game on, I play to win, this is my house now, let the games begin. Game on, watch me rise from the dirt to the clouds to the star-filled skies. Game on, I play to win, this is my house now, let the games begin. They threw bricks, but I built me a palace. Sharp in my mind, turned pain into malice. I'm a wolf in the jungle, a lion in the night. Eyes like lasers, locked on the fight. I'm the echo that shakes through the hall. Every time I fall, I grow 10 feet tall. No chains, no walls can keep me bound. I'm the thunder that roars when no one's around.
Tune in to Straight Sports Talk with Coach Vincent, Fridays at 8 p.m., sponsored by the Nighthawk Network Detroit. Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people.
Victories are firing, I'm the flame. Game on, watch me rise from the dirt to the clouds to the star-filled skies.
All right, we back. Yeah, please make sure y'all check out our show tomorrow, Two Unks Talking TV, where we will indeed be talking about the iconic TV show Martin. I've been watching some back episode. Man, I'm telling you, Hugh, I could watch some of them shows 30, 40, 50 times and crack up laughing every time. I'm sitting there 3 a.m, dying laughing. Martin was a one of a kind, brother.
Oh yeah, man. And what's so cool about it is when you hear like some of the stuff behind the scenes now that we didn't hear before in the past that they talk about, man, and some of the memories and things that you never heard of or wouldn't have heard of. And the
Right.
internet basically gave you the exposure on that platform to make the show even better because they said most times whenever they wanted them to do something different, he'll make it worse, but just going overboard, being silly as he
Right.
was, man.
Yeah,
He
keep
knew
in
how
mind, and Hugh, you probably could repost some of this stuff, but yeah, after the show tonight, I'm gonna go through some of my reels that I have of Martin clips and put them on my U story so y'all can check it out and we can all relive it together tomorrow on the show.
That's a fact, man. Definitely appreciate that. All right, E man. I want to get into some other things too, man. Well, a lot of the stuff is unfortunate, but we're gonna have to talk about. Um, they saying the Chauncey is facing money laundering, conspiracy, and wiring fraud. That maximum prison period can cost him 20 years, man.
Man, I'm hoping this ain't true, man. I don't want it to be true, but remember, this is a federal court case, y'all. The federal government, 98 out of 100 times, ain't bringing no case against you unless they got the goods on you, bruh.
Mhm.
It's that rare exception, like with the Diddy trial, where they brought all these charges and they couldn't make most of them stick. I don't think that's going to be the case in
No,
this.
not at all.
I think they got my man's, dog, and I hate it. I hate it for us.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too, man, because definitely being a former Pistons and champion with Pistons in 2004. Yeah, man, that's messed up, man, to hear that news. But yeah, I want to definitely stay tuned, and I'll keep y'all posted with what's going on in that whole case as well.
Absolutely.
Golden State Warriors, man, they saying Stephen Curry is going to be out because of his injury was worse than what they thought it was, man. And I'm with his knee issue, and they said that he will be out for another 10 days, man. Do you think that that's going to be spelling the end for the Golden State Warriors?
For as great as Stephen Curry has been over all these years, I need y'all to understand that that man has not been 100% healthy for a whole season in over a decade. Every year, that man is hurt for some stretch of the season. And it's crazy because obviously, when healthy, he's one of the best 4-5 guards in the league. But because he cannot stay healthy, and 95 out of 100 times, it's something to do with his legs, his foot, his ankle, and it don't get helped by the fact that the way he manufactures most of his points is running around all the screens and whatnot. Obviously, if they can get him back for some stretch of the last 10 games, that'd probably be good enough to get them in the playoffs. I don't see them being able to do much when they get there, even if he was fully healthy, because when you look at the West with the OKCs and the San Antonios and the Houstons of the world, they just ain't got enough firepower at Golden State to contend.
Because they got some hard teams on here. And
remember, also Jimmy Butler out for the season as well. So
I think it's two teams that they'll be able to just beat outright. But then you have that's the Jazz and the Bulls. But then you got the Clippers, Rockets, and Thunders you still got to face too.
Yeah, and obviously you see what it kind of looked like with them against the Lakers the other day. So yeah, it ain't looking good for them.
I wanted to talk about the Denver Nuggets too, man. I know. Did you check out some of the games over the weekend? Because
Absolutely.
Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. I noticed, I said, man, that's not going to help them out the way they did that, how they had him, rest in the second and fourth quarter, man. Teams was taking advantage of that, especially Naz Reid, because he really got off. And it seemed like they had their issues, of course, when Nikola Jokic is playing. But when he out, man, they was going on those 10-2 runs, 14-0 runs, and they basically got to the point where they'll get up so much that it's not him coming in and saving the day type of situation, because he was kind of off at sometimes. But do you think that that's something that you should be concerned with, them doing that, and his load management?
Absolutely. I mean, because obviously when they was playing him a little bit too much earlier in the season, that's when he messed around and got hurt. Remember, in a championship year, I believe that's when they had DeMarcus. And they could give him some spells because DeMarcus could come in and he can get you a hot 10 or 12 right quick. And even when they had DeAndre Jordan, he at least was a decent enough rim protector or whatnot to where you couldn't just take for granted that he was out the game and had to respect DeAndre Jordan's gangster on the boards and getting to the rim. Now, I don't even remember who their backup is over there, but clearly it ain't enough to get the job done. Oh, yeah. Like I said, not enough to get the job done. And their bench is not nearly as strong as it has been in recent years. So that is kind of a concern.
I believe Jonas Valanciunas, he's a good defender, but he's not the scorer.
Not good
and he's not who he used to be as
Absolutely.
far as in his career when he was with the Raptors and other teams.
Right. Perhaps when he was with New Orleans back then, he was pretty decent. But no, This version of him, not so much.
As far as the Los Angeles Lakers, man, do you think that they'll be a threat headed into the playoffs?
Yes. Do I think they get past the second round? No. No.
I feel like with this
Bottom
team, man,
line, no defense, bro. No defense.
that team's built, man. You're starting to see the cracks in the armor, man. You're starting to hear
Big
DeAndre
gaping cracks.
Ayton saying stuff like, man, well, y'all want me to be like a Clint Capella, and I'm not that player. Then the whole confusion between LeBron James and Luca on taking the last shot in the one game, and them just falling apart at the end of games, man. I was just like, yeah, man. I'm thinking at this point, if LeBron do decide to stay in the league, I would be surprised if he stay with the Los Angeles Lakers coming up next season. That's my opinion.
Here's my bold prediction. LeBron James will play next season, but it's going to be in one of three places. Clippers, obviously back in Cleveland, or in Golden State. It's going to be one of those three teams. And obviously, I would safely assume Bronny's going with him.
I would be surprised if he stayed. It was friction,
Yeah, I definitely think this is his last year with the Lakers.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really think that it'll be wise. But then, because you can already see the Luka effect. And I know they're going to probably want to try to hold on to Austin Reeves. So it's going to be some things that need to be done by next season.
You can't pay LeBron what you're paying him and still keep Austin Reeves. It's just not possible.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
He got to go.
The question of the day, too, right now, man, as far as with the NBA, man, will the Detroit Pistons hold on to that number one seed in the East?
The answer is yes. Reason I say that, look at their remaining schedule. Got a lot of bums at the end of that schedule. So I think it's going to take them about 12 wins to pull it off. It's definitely 12 wins in the bottom part of that schedule. So, yeah, I say they – now, them being a number one seed, how will they fare? At that point, it really depends on three factors. One, will Cleveland be fully healthy at that point when they face them possibly in the second round? Two, will Boston get back Tatum, and will Tatum be a factor with Boston if that is the case? And obviously, three, will the Knicks finally man up, grab a big paylotus and say, look, this is the playoffs now. We about to do y'all like we did y'all last year.
Because
those three factors is no, then yeah, the Pistons is fine.
Because when I seen the way they played recently with the San Antonio Spurs, how they blew them out, man, talking about the New York Knicks, yeah, that was something of a concern to me because we all feel like Jose Alvarado will be a it factor with that team, and he has been. But when you got Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart and, Karl Anthony Towns and all them clicking on the same level, man, and definitely can't forget Jalen Brunson, man. That's still a team to be reckoned with. So, yeah, it's going to be some bumps in the road, too, because I feel like one thing that people need to keep an eye on, too, as well, that the Pistons got to play San Antonio, and that'll be, what is today? Wednesday. They play them Thursday.
Yeah, obviously that's going to be a tough matchup. Good thing is they got Stoobies back, so that helps a little bit. But again, when the alien, that dude Wembanyama, when he get into that mode, he's scary. And we done said it before on the show. He ain't even, but like 2/3 of what he gonna end up really being. That's the scariest part of all.
Another thing I wanted to tell you right quick, man, when I'm telling you the NFL is heating up right now, man, the Minnesota Vikings are heating up right now, man. They even got rid of another person, man, one of their tackles. They just got rid of Jonathan Allen.
How old is Jonathan Allen?
Jonathan Allen, let me see. I'm not sure, but I think he's definitely up there in age. I know he definitely in his 30s.
Simply casualty cap. Plain and simple.
Let me see.
He will find a home somewhere.
He's 31.
Yeah, he'll find a home somewhere. No problems. That's just a casualty cap. Again, that might be a scenario where they end up re-signing for lesser money. Who knows?
Yeah, I forgot something. The Unrivaled. I ain't forget The Unrivaled, man. Right now, too, man, before we even really get into the unrivaled, man, we got to talk about what the heck is going on with the WNBAPA right now, man, because it's still not really settled yet. What is going on with the
Okay, from our understanding, they have made a better offer, not a good enough offer. In the end, there will not be a 50-50 share of revenue with the WNBA. They say they can't afford it. They say that the league is still not making money overall. There are
Okay.
certain teams definitely making money. For example, obviously the Indiana Fever, teams like the Aces, teams like the New York Liberty. The vast majority of the rest of the league are either breaking even or they actually not making money off of those teams.
Makes sense. Makes
So
sense.
because of that, they're saying they can't afford to pay them what they want to get paid. In the end, I would like to see a league where they salary cap is more than that 9 million they talking about doing for a squad. I would like to see the top players in the W make at least 2.5 to 3 million a season. That would be nice. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I would like for them to build toward that. Will there be a WNBA season? I honestly think it may be. Will it be a full season? Again, remember, I gave it to this week for that to be the case. No, they're not going to sign by the deadline. So I say it's a possibility the season might get cut 10 games down to a nice 35, and that probably may not be that bad a thing. The question of the day is, as it drags on, does the contingency plan to do the summer unrivaled league come into play then? And then, of course, there is also Project B.
Yeah, I definitely hope that they continue to go through with the Unrivaled League, and then what's other leagues that they can join, man, where they can get paid exceptionally well. They
Like
have
I
to.
said, the Project B thing that they're working on. And also, shout out to Athletes Unlimited. That also has been playing a season that, we haven't talked about, but, also pretty decent basketball if you check it out.
The Unrivaled Championship. What are your thoughts?
Okay, well, that is tonight, y'all. So as we speak here on the show, it probably already going down. And that's between the Phantom and the Mist. I'm going with the Phantom, led by young Kelsey Plum. I think they will be the champions this year because Kelsey will will it. Keep in mind, it all started with them in the Breeze in game one this season, and they was calling them young girls. So that's gonna be a pretty good rivalry next year. Them in the Breeze again. But yeah, I think Chelsea will get them over the finish line. Kelsey,
Yeah,
I mean, and they will win the championship tonight.
good too, man. She's been lighting it up. Every game you see her, she's been
Yeah,
electric.
Kelsey been on a mission.
I like her friendship too, with her and her girl, man. I thought that was cool. Leah Boston, I think they're pretty cool,
Yeah, and I also like her little friendship with her little friend, Viv. If y'all familiar with social media, there's this little kid, Viv, that goes around to all the NBA games and all the WNBA games and plays rock, paper, scissors with the players and gives them little boo-boos and stuff like that. It's a real cute little thing.
They be giving them cool stuff too, man.
Absolutely.
Like cool.
And she been getting some cool stuff in return, which kind of questions, okay, what's the real motive? I'm thinking she getting a lot of this stuff from the players, like the signed shoes and whatnot, and whoever's in charge of her, they utilizing those things online or whatever.
She taking full advantage of that too, man.
Yeah.
We got to give shouts out to our homegirl too, man. Chelsea Gray, man. The MVP, man. The league
Man,
MVP.
for anybody that's older like ourselves, you can't help but like the story of Chelsea Gray because, of course, she got injured last year, and when she came back to the Las Vegas Aces, she still wasn't quite 100%, and they only went so far in the playoffs. And at that point, a lot of people were starting to write her off. They were saying the point guard was pretty much done at that point. But she did, as the time went on, got herself back healthy. They obviously won Unrivaled League last year, and she was the playoff MVP. Now, of course, this year, not only did she win the one-on-one tournament championship, but she was named the league MVP and well-deserved because when you watch them play in Unrivaled League, and watch her in particular, she had it all. She had the passing, she played the defense, and she shot it up. I was very impressed, and I am very proud of what she has accomplished.
she did pretty good in that one-on-one tournament too, man. Several times
Absolutely.
she was going down, man, but she held her own and came back in both of
Right.
the games.
And sadly, she done made more money in those accomplishments than she will make this season in the WNBA, which of course is part of the prop.
I think that's still going to be an issue too, man. It's not looking good too, but especially the fact that when Alicia Collier said what she said, man, when she said that whole situation with the when she had that talk with the WNBA, and she sat down and talked to
The commissioner, yeah.
commissioner, and the league commissioner was saying some of the things she said. I don't think that she'll lie about that.
Right.
But I feel like it was a slap in the face of them women, and now they're not trying to pay them neither, man. It's like, come on, y'all could do better.
Right. I mean, it's sad when the Angel Reeses and the Caitlin Clarks of the world making considerably more money just doing that off the court stuff than anything they doing on the court. I mean, especially Angel Reese. I mean, it's like Angel Reese is a brand, y'all. You name it, she doing it. Not only is she modeling, not only does she have her Adidas contract, which makes her part owner of Adidas, by the way. She got her teams that she owns, and hell, rumor has it she been taking acting classes, and she about to start acting too.
Yeah, man, definitely happy for that sister, man. A lot of people give her a lot of flack, man, and throw shade at her, man. But all she doing is winning. So, I guess when that comes along with the hate. Anything else would you like to add, man?
Okay, it's a few little bits and pieces. First of all, shout out to all the hockey fans. We're gonna give you your hockey footage. We got about 15 games left in the season. Shout out to the American team, of course, who won the cup. I mean, not the cup, but the gold medal. And a lot of the players are coming back and getting their flowers from their NHL franchises, commemorating them winning the gold medal, which is pretty cool. Definitely, if you guys like Saturday Night Live, y'all should check out the opening monologue for last week's show where they had the women's hockey team and Jack Hughes from the men's hockey team on there. That was a nice little skit. But yeah, the women's league is still going on. So if y'all interested in some women's hockey, y'all can check that out. I believe it's on ESPN Her. You can see some of those games. And I want to say FS1. In other news, the Indoor Golf League. Are you familiar, Hugh?
No, not at all.
Now, understand they've been showing highlights from last night's match, which includes the LA squad, which is, of course, led by one Tiger Woods. It's crazy how, in an ideal world, you would not watch that for nothing in life. You wouldn't watch that on TikTok. Hell, you barely wants to play that yourself. I think actual Tiger Woods game on PS3 is more entertaining than the Indoor Golf League. But because it's Tiger Woods, people watch. And a lot of the sports outlets are showing what happened in last night's match. That just lets you know the importance of Tiger Woods to that sport right now. They're going to have to figure out a way to either get him to play in tournaments where it don't matter about him walking and all of that, or basically try to incorporate him in a way to where, because he's there, people will tune in. Outside of that, golf just ain't golfing. It ain't.
Yeah, man, definitely feel like right now, man, like you said, I didn't even know it was a damn league going on right now. So, yeah, that was a surprise in its own way to me.
And now, something of interest, maybe even to you, Hugh, before we call it a show. NASCAR. I've been watching NASCAR. You know why? Because there is a young man out of the camp of Denny Hamlin who is co-owner with the one and only Michael Jordan. And that young man has won the last 3 NASCAR races in a row. The first time anybody has started the season winning the first 3 consecutive NASCAR races in a row as a rookie, no less. And that young man is racing for the Michael Jordan brand, okay? And as a result, Michael Jordan has been key in NASCAR these last few weeks.
Yeah. His name's been coming up a lot.
Now, based upon that, they said if that team continues to have the success he has, it's a very good possibility that by the end of the year, Michael Jordan will become a billionaire 3 times over. and will be worth over $3 billion. What's your thoughts about that, Hugh?
Phenomenal, man. He's a smart dude, man. Didn't think that he would really translate that, man, especially after being a basketball player, man. But he was a basketball player. He was an owner. You know, he gave up his share.
No. That's something I found out about. He gave up his controlling shares of the Hornets. He still owns 30% of the team.
Aware of that. That's pretty, man. That dude's a smart dude, man. Because
Yeah, and keep in mind the Hornets look like they at least gonna make the playoffs. So add that into the mix.
he not they've been stepping up, man. They got a lot of good man. This stuff. My man Colin Kneppel, man, go be the rookie of the year. He definitely beat the 3-point record, man, as far as the rookie, man. They only gonna get better, man. And the sky's the limit for that team.
Right. And then of course, remember, y'all, it's one person we keep forgetting about because she ain't been around. Let's talk about Juju Watkins. When she starts to sell her Nikes next year, and of course, because Jordan owns part of Nike as well, the sky is the limit for that brother.
Yeah, man, he really did some good investments, man. 3-time billionaire, man. What else can you say about that brother, man?
Right. We can only hope that when my man finally shuts it down, LeBron James, that he also invests wisely as well in future investments. So he can keep his $1 billion going.
Absolutely.
That's all I got for you, brother. Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
Before you do that, that's all I got too, man. You don't even got to do that today, man. Well, I will see y'all tomorrow.
All right, y'all. We will call in the evening then. Till next time.